Hi, welcome back to my channel. It's time for the aftermath where it has finished West Ham United 1, Fulham FC 0 at the London Stadium. West Ham get the 3 points, albeit in very difficult circumstances. West Ham made an absolute meal of that game and made it such hard work when it really wasn't necessary. There were a few frailties showing in the team, particularly in the midfield. I only felt that when substitutions were made, they really changed the game. I'm not going to say too much right now because I want to talk about it in more detail in the video. And then, of course, there was the late drama with the penalty. So there is quite a lot to talk about. I'm just going to get straight into it. Only team news was it was an unchanged side. I'm not going to get into too much detail with that. Some people were still saying, again, Fornal should be dropped and Benrahma should be put in, but it was unchanged. I'll just get into the opening 10 minutes of the game right away. West Ham had 3 shots on target within the opening 7 or 8 minutes. Some of them were really good. Some of them looked likely to go in. Jarrod Bowen came really close, and then Cresswell's looping shot was punched over by Areola. And Areola was keeping Fulham in the game very early on. West Ham were looking very good, very attacking, giving it all to Fulham. Having said that, it started to drop a little bit during the game. Fulham started to come into West Ham a lot more. They had a lot more possession of the ball, and they were trying to get Mitrovic on the end of every single cross. He's their striker that they're quite dependent on. He had one off target, he had another shot off target, and although it was enough to test our defence wasn't really getting into gear. The only really good defensive player in that first half was Vladimir Sopal, because he was making a few tackles and getting the ball away a few times back into our possession. Other than that, I would say Declan Rice and Thomas Souček were having really poor first halves, particularly Rice. He wasn't making any interceptions or getting the ball away. And Fulham kept coming into us. Anthony Robinson, in particular, was causing problems. Mitrovic was causing problems with Aaron Cresswell. Fulham were lucky not to score. Or you could argue that we are lucky that Fulham are that bad, because it could have been easily 2-0 by half-time to the opposition. Thankfully, it wasn't. West Ham did have a little bit of a bright last 10 minutes. And the crosses were coming in, but other than that, there was no creativity from West Ham. Hilaire was having an alright game at this point. Some people have ripped into him on Twitter again, but I thought it was okay. I mean, like I say, hit the crossbar, but he wasn't having a bad game. West Ham started off the second half like they started the first half. Another crossbar was being rattled. Aaron Cresswell's close-range free kick hit the crossbar. And at the other end, Fabiański came to get the ball. Angelo Ogbonna and Mitrovic got a bit tangled up. Mitrovic squares up to Ogbonna and gets in his face. And I want to talk about that. Mitrovic was very, very hot-headed in that second half in particular. He was being very aggressive when he didn't need to be. I just think that Ogbonna did go down in that tackle. I mean, Fabiański knocks it unintentionally, and Ogbonna and Mitrovic go down together. Mitrovic just lashes out for nothing in that. And I thought that Mitrovic would end up getting himself booked or possibly sent off if he carried on. He didn't, though. As for West Ham, still more of the same, really. They were still quite stagnant. But the thing was that Fulham were attacking a lot more. Fulham were going forward a lot more. Fabiański made some saves. He'd stopped a free kick. He denied Bobby de Cordova-Reid. A little bit of bad news followed. Angelo Ogbonna went down. It looks like a hamstring injury, or at the very least an upper leg injury. Issa Diop had to come on in Ogbonna's place. If Ogbonna is sidelined, that's going to be a really big blow for West Ham. But hey, I'm glad we signed a centre-back in the summer to replace him. Oh wait, no we didn't. That's the concern. Later on, Said Benrahma and Manuel Lanzini came on in place of Pablo Fornals and Jarrod Bowen. And substitutions coming this early, it's not like David Moyes to do that, but I've got to give him credit for this because he brought in the substitutes with 30 minutes to go, roughly. It was 20-30 minutes to go. And he let those subs get a feel for the game, understand what the game was doing, and then let them make an impact. So fair play to him for doing that. Benrahma and Lanzini immediately added something. They added a little bit more pace. They added a little bit more flair. Bowen and Fornals did not have that, particularly in the first half. Both of them were very sloppy and poor, in all honesty. Benrahma came on, and in particular, he was making the impact. I saw more technicality. I saw more versatility in our midfield. and he even had a really good chance to score. Then came the goal that made me nearly lose my voice and made me start screaming the house down. You might be able to tell I sound a little bit ropey, but anyway. Saïd Benrahma. A ball is cleared. Benrahma's there. He passes it laterally to Souček, who fires it first time past the goalkeeper, and it's 1-0 West Ham. Late in the game, he's got the goal. I mean, West Ham didn't look like scoring, really, but it was better late than never, I suppose. At this point, West Ham fans are happy, but I suppose in the back of our minds, this is West Ham, and it's not over till it's over. Anything can happen. And you're right to think it ain't over till it's over, because what happened next was quite some drama. The referee in general had a really bad game, and some key decisions were going against West Ham, but this one could have been a make or break. Tom Kearney looks like he's going down in the box anyways, tripping over his own feet. Benrahma appears to stick his foot out and clip Kearney. Very, very tame. I'd liken it to Masuaku bringing down Salah. It was that kind of tameness. The referee spends a lot of time talking to officials, looks over at the screen, then decides to award the penalty to Fulham. And I'm thinking, here we go. We're going to blow this. Typical West Ham. Can't believe VAR's gone against us again. Lookman steps up to take the penalty kick. It's him versus Fabianski, and it's the last kick of the game. I don't know what Lookman's doing. He's running up. He's trying to do the chip. Panenka penalty, isn't it called? I don't know whether it was a chip or whether he just lost his footing, but either way, it was a half little pass, half little flick. Fabianski deals with it. Doesn't really have to move. So Fabianski, yes, saves the penalty, and it finishes 1-0 to West Ham. And at that point, I took a deep breath and just smiled. I may not have been very clear about some of the stuff in this video, so let me just summarise it up again really quickly. It's good that West Ham got the win. I'm happy that West Ham got the win. But there are some issues in this team that are starting to show a little bit. And it's mainly in the midfield. I noticed a lot of open space in our midfield and a little bit of a lack of energy at times from our wingers. The only thing that has compensated us not losing the game was the fact that Souček scored and that Lookman missed a penalty and that ultimately West Ham got the win. That compensates for a bit of a poor performance, really. The other thing that I want to talk about is Benrahma changing the game. And I'm going to say this, he may have to be considered for a starting position from now on. Thank you very much for watching this episode of The Aftermath. I know it was a lot briefer than usual, but I thought I'd still give my views nonetheless. If you liked the video, hit the like button, subscribe for more content. I will see you all soon with another video. Take care, and bye for now.